What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm gonna go through and do some online window shopping. The purpose of today's video is to hopefully expose you to some new brands, things that you hadn't seen out there before, and just put together a little winter wardrobe. Let's hop right in and do some online shopping. Here we have our spreadsheet. We're gonna go from bottom up and we're gonna start with some shoes. So I've actually had my eye on a pair of the UGG Tasman slippers. They winterize them. I'm pretty sure they do them for men and women, but it's a really interesting shoe. I love the winterized version of things. Timberland did a version of these a while ago, so let's check these out. These go really well with a pair of like baggy pants, which I know is super in trend right now. I'm not sure if I would do these. I think they actually make a higher top version. See, like right here, something a little more baggy, the way that these pants are interacting with the shoe. I actually really like that. I think they do make like a mid-top version, and it loses one of the details I actually really like. Let me see if I can find a quick photo. Yeah, this seam down the middle, for some reason, it just breaks up the shoe a little bit. I really like this seam. So we're gonna add this. This is gonna be the first thing that we add to our list. Let's get a price for you. Looks like they float around about $160. So that's the first item on the list. Second pair of winter boots that I've been looking at are by a brand called Dime. If memory serves me correct, it's called the Balby, something like that. I might have totally butchered that. They actually have these directly from their website. So let's see, $314. I don't know if I saw these cheaper on Essence or somewhere. $314 is a lot for boots, but as you get older, you learn that when your feet stop growing, you can spend a little bit more money on something and you won't have to worry about replacing it. You should have these boots for a very long time. So let's see, I see some of these other like buy boxes up here in the sponsored section that are cheaper than the $300. These are used. eBay is also a great option if you don't mind buying secondhand shoes. Most people that are selling secondhand shoes have a lot of shoes, so it's not like they're wearing these every day with their dogs getting all sweaty, you know what I mean? For the sake of time, we're gonna stick with the $314 price and just add that to our sheet and move on to the next item. And we see that door open and close back there. My dog keeps moving in and out of the office. I want to give you guys one more option for boots. I've made a few videos on these, but the John Elliott Chelsea boot, it's like a winterized version of a Chelsea boot, and I know Chelsea boots aren't for everybody, but I have been absolutely in love with these boots for 2 seasons now. I think they came out in 22. Yes, the Caldera Chelsea boots by John Elliott. I have a feeling we'll be on this website a lot. John Elliott makes some beautiful product. And let's see here. Okay, they're actually on sale for $299. I think that's probably because they had their Black Friday sale and they're just trying to get rid of old product. If you can pull off a white boot, the white works well too. We're just gonna go with $299, and I know there's shipping and stuff involved with this, but I'm just trying to give you a rough idea of what stuff costs. Next up, we're gonna move to pants. I've made a ton of videos on thrifting. I get a lot of flack because people say thrifting doesn't work for everybody all the time, everywhere. If you've ever seen anything I put out, you can thrift because eBay is available to everybody. The prices are cheaper than what you're gonna find on a lot of vintage sites because vintage sites are usually run by people who have turned this into a business. They have overhead, brick and mortar retail space, clients that source for them and find product, hosting fees. You get the picture. They do need to upcharge. It's typical. It's business. That's how businesses run and operate. Unfortunately, us as consumers have to pay more. eBay takes a lot of that out of the equation. Our first pair of pants, given some of the boots that I picked, especially like the UGG Tasmans, I would go with something, like I said, a little bit baggier. I'm gonna start off with some orange tab Levi's. All right, orange tab 505. Now, I am a big fan of Levi's, and forgive me if I get my styles mixed up, but I believe the 505 is the straight leg and the 501s are a little more slim. So I typically try to stay away from any 501s just because I don't want skinny jeans. Another important thing to remember when you're buying vintage pants is just to make sure you know your sizing. Take a pair of pants that you already own, grab a tape measure, and make sure they fit. And anybody that's selling vintage pants usually will add the sizing because we're an interesting breed of people that buys vintage pants and we don't want to have to make a return because the sizing doesn't fit. I actually really like this pair of light wash denim. I think I almost would like a gray pair with the Tasmans. You're looking around $40 when you're going to be buying vintage pants. I actually saw a couple pair of black denim that I like. I like this pair here, 33 by 34. The inseam is a little too long for me, but I do like this pair. 119, see, this is what I'm saying. This person, there's a reason that these are still listed. That's crazy, but I do like them. I have found several pair of these orange tab Levi's at thrift stores, so don't let anyone tell you it's not possible. And I've paid like $12 for a pair. Some of these prices are a little crazy, I will say. $50, $33.30, $505. This is actually perfect. Flat lay measurements, not what the tag says, so 33. So I actually probably would add these to the bag. You can expect, like I said, you should be able to find a pair around $50. So we're gonna add these to the list. I know this total's racking up quick, but again, guys, I'm just giving you ideas here. We're having fun. That's what this is all about. I would also probably look around for like a vintage Dickies work pant or something like that. Yeah, here we go. $33.30 again in my size. I don't think these have the carpenter loop. I actually recently just found a pair of these with the carpenter loop. When people are using keywords of things that are popular, like carpenter pants, they're going to be taxing. So sometimes you might be able to get around just searching like vintage Dickies 33, and someone who doesn't know what keywords they're looking for will have them listed a little bit cheaper, but it's not always the case. These will be nice right here. I actually really like these. $38.39, $12 for shipping. That's a little egregious. This is something that I would send an offer on. That's why I love eBay, because you can send offers, but for now we're gonna say $38.95 plus $12 shipping. So we're just gonna say about 55 bucks. So to give you some more options, another brand I really like when it comes to denim is Orslo. They have a fatigue pant that I really like. Now this is a little bit more of a higher end brand. Yeah, so these are around $235. Again, just giving you options. We had a little high and a little low. So let's add these to the list. Slim fit, regular fit. And this brand is out of Japan, so I think the sizing is a little weird. As you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I think that's, yeah, I think this brand's out of Japan if I recall correctly. Again, just a great pair of pants. So let's add these to the list. I want to give you guys all options at different price points, and these come in at $235. Now I keep a sheet of brands, people, stores, and clothing that I like. So I want to add a pair of Arc'teryx pants that I recently saw. I think I might have bookmarked these on eBay. If you know a brand that you like and it's a little more expensive retail, I usually just throw the saved search on eBay and it'll send you alerts when people add things in your size. Here we go. The Arc'teryx Gamma LT, $530. We're off to a great start. This beige color is nice. Yeah, this is the color. I don't think they call it beige on their website. A women's LT pant. I feel like Arc'teryx would be unisex. A lot of these hiking and techwear brands end up being unisex because, I mean, it's pants. Like, come on. I don't know why these are so hard to find. Anyway, these are the pants, the LT Gamma. I'm just not seeing them. Yeah, here they are in black. The price floats around $150, so we're just gonna add that to the list for right now. Next up, and one of the last options I'm gonna give you guys, is vintage REI. I actually really like some of the old pants that you can find on here, and it's usually at a pretty reasonable price. 34, 32, carpenter double knee. Something like this is actually really interesting. Convertible cargo pants. See, these prices are really agreeable, especially if you don't want to spend, you know, close to $200 on something like Arc'teryx. And it's still in that same genre of style. These blue pants are kind of interesting. I like to sometimes mix in a statement piece into my outfit. Blue's a little bright for winter, but could be a good option. Here we go. Now this is not bad. Medium, red, full size. These are just interesting. And again, I'm trying to give you guys options and things that are not necessarily what's trending. I actually really like these pants. It's a different color. You can add a pop of color. Some of the other items I have on this list are pretty much just black. So even mixing in a little bit of color to your outfit, these could be a nice option. For vintage REI pants, I'm going to give you guys about $40. Next up, we have shirts. Let's see what we can find to add some shirts into our collection here. Now, much like I mentioned earlier with John Elliott, we're going to be on eBay a lot. I already saved this next item because I knew I was going to be making this video. I've wanted to add some knits to my wardrobe because I just don't have many. Typically, I would stay away from Banana Republic. It's just not a brand that's interested me much, but this is a great price. I found $38.98, $9 shipping. You could probably send an offer. Usually if you're pretty fair in the offer that you send, people tend to accept them, but I like this gray knit sweater and I've wanted to add knits for a while, so I'm gonna add this in for $45. If you couldn't tell, I wear a lot of hoodies, so next up we are going to move over to the vintage Russell hoodie. I have a few of these because I've thrifted them in thrift stores, but again, I'm making this so people who do not think thrifting is possible can have access to some of this stuff. eBay has just about everything under the sun, and these prices are phenomenal. My vintage Russell hoodie is one of my favorite hoodies that I own. This one's zip up. If it wasn't zip up, I would probably buy that one right now. Sizing has changed a little bit over time, so I would probably go for something that's XL, and that's probably where some of the taxing is going to start happening in the bigger sizes. So let's see what we can find. Make sure that if you are shopping on eBay that the seller posted sizing, because you never know how something's going to fit. If they mislabeled something, you just always want to make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. Now, in my experience, I would pay up for one of these, so even though some of these prices can get kind of high, I do think it's worth it. It is one of my favorite hoodies that I own. Here's one for $45 with $9 shipping, so we're just going to go ahead and add this to the list. Next, we're going to hop back over to to John Elliott for some long sleeves and just general shirts. That's why I saved this tab, because I knew he would be back. I got 3 items for you from John Elliott that I've had my eye on. Their university tee. I'm all right with paying up for something once in a while. I believe this university tee, it does, also comes in white. So one of these tees in a white or black. Number 2, John Elliott, like a long sleeve tee. Beautiful. They make the university in a long sleeve as well. Highly underrated having just a long sleeve tee. I usually layer, but sometimes it's nice to just have one layer that you put on and then a long sleeve tee. So $98 for this one. Now, the third and final item, I know this is going to probably be outpriced for a lot of you, but again, just giving you options. You got high, you got low. This is one of my favorite pieces that I've come across this year. I don't even know if they still have it on their website. The John Elliott gradient mohair. They make it in a zip up as well as a sweater. This right here. So they have it on Hypebeast. Do you have a medium? I realize again, here we are in a higher price point, $270, but again, this is such a beautiful sweater. I would wear something like this with a pair of gray pants, but I've had my eye on this for so long. So gradient mohair crew, $270. Next, we have 2 more categories. Jackets and hats. I'm going to start with hats because I think it's a smaller list. Yeah, much smaller. We only have one. Here we go. Acne Studio beanies. I like their little patch that they put on here, and it would be a good way to add just a little bit of pop of color if you want, or you can go with a more neutral color. This green would be fun since I do wear a lot of black, neutral muted colors, or even with like an olive green. This beanie would be kind of interesting here. Saks Fifth has it for $190, so we're going to throw that on there. Mr. Porter has one for $160 in black. So let's go right in the middle. And that beanie was from Acne Studios, if I didn't mention. What's trending right now is the fitted beanies. Urban Outfitters has a ton. I haven't shopped there since I was a child, but they might have some interesting options to throw in a lower tier priced item. Here we go. Fitted graphic beanie, $19. This toothache one's kind of cool. You can get a fitted beanie for about $20. And we're staying away from Temu and Shein because I don't like them. All this stuff you can find alternatives at like an H&M or something like that, but I'm just trying to dial into some more specifics that you guys might not have heard of. Our last and final category is jackets, so let's dive in. I think all the jackets that I had on this list are available from Garmentory. Now I need to prepare you. A lot of this stuff's not going to be cheap, but when it comes to jackets, cry once, buy once. And pro tip, when you buy higher quality clothing, a lot of times the resale value holds. It's not always the case, but in a lot of cases, once you're done with it, you can sell it and get some of your money back. Not an investment, but you're not going to lose all your money. I'm going to start off with one of my favorite jackets on this list, this Afield Out jacket. Black and green, but I love this jacket. It's a beautiful, beautiful jacket, fleece. I wish I could buy it right now. Next up on our list, this mechanics jacket is really nice, and it's something that you could layer, throw a hoodie on underneath it, or again, just over one of those white long sleeve or short sleeve t-shirts. $234 if that is out of your price range for a jacket like this. Thrift one. I'm sure you could find an alternative on eBay. And here we go, just to prove to you that usually you can find something similar, $46 for a vintage mechanics men's jacket. I had to add this. I know it's an absurd price. I just had to show you. Orly is a brand that I really like. They put out some amazing products. Now this jacket is almost $1,000, but it's not Canada Goose. So at least it's something different than what you may see out there. Beautiful jacket. I think I had 2 more jackets left on this list and we will wrap it up. It might help if I actually spelled things correctly. I am very inspired by vintage, military, and techwear. That's probably where my style sits the most right now. This FrismWorks field jacket, again, layering something like this or pairing it with a more baggy pant and some boots, especially those Caldera boots or the Dime boots would go great with this. Yeah, $225. And last but not least, I'm gonna round it out with South 2 West 8. They have a lot of stuff on here, so South 2 West 8 and collab jacket. Again, $570, but this is a down jacket. Cry once, buy once. Look at that. How can you not love this jacket? So $570, $3,300. Now, again, you don't have to get everything on this list. You don't have to buy any of it. But I wanted to show you guys an array of options, some high, some low, a few different types of styles. I would say John Elliott's more contemporary and some of this other stuff is tech wear. Some is vintage, some is military inspired. So we've got options, we've got different price points. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and be sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far. I'll catch you guys on the next one.